All right, welcome to review day. This is our A orange sheet review. So I have find the product, 41 times 4. We're just going to do this normal, 41 times 4. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 164 is my answer. Now I move on. I multiplied 41 by a power of 10, and I'm up to 410. I'm still multiplying it by 4. 0 times 4 is 0. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. I have 164 here. I have 1,640 here. Now both of these terms are multiplied by a power of 10 since our first one. So I have 410 times 40. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Cross that off, and I put my placeholder. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Add them all up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. 6 plus nothing is 6. And 1. 16,400 is my answer here. And now I have 410 times 400. So 410 times 400. You might want to get some extra paper for this one. We might run out of room. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Cross that off. Put a placeholder. 0 times 0 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. Cross that off. Put two placeholders. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 times 1 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. Add these all up. And I'm left with 164,000. All right, so this is where we need to talk about our different problems. So we are determining if the equations are true or false. So we have to figure out what the answer is on this side, and we have to figure out what the answer is on this side. If they're the same, then the equations are true. If those numbers are different, then they're false. So I'm going to hide this side over here. And I'm going to say 350 times 6 times 10. Well, 6 times 10 I can do in my head, and 6 times 10 is 60. Now I need to know what 350 times 60 is. One way I can do it is I can break it apart. So I know that 350, I can take that 35 out, and 35 times 10 is 350. So I have 35 times 10. And then with our 60, I can take a 6 out, and I can take a 10 out, because 6 times 10 is 60. So times 6 times 10. Now I like to combine this way. So 35 times 6, I'll figure out what that is. And 10 times 10, I know what that is. 35 times 6, I'm just going to do quickly over here. 35 times 6. 5 times 6 is 30. Carry the 3. 3 times 6 is 18, 19, 20, 21. So I have 210 times 100. 210 times 100, I can just take that number. There's my decimal place. Remember, if we don't have a decimal, it's at the end. And move it once, twice, and fill those place values in with zeros. 21,000 is my answer. So 21,000. Okay, now I'm only going to look at this side. I have my easy to look at question. 60 times 100 is 6,000. And I have 35 times 6,000. Well, I can take my 35 and I can multiply that by 6 and by 1,000. Right? I can break 6,000 into 6 and into 1,000. So 35 times 6, I already found out, was 210. and I have 210 times 1,000. So now I'm going to take that number and move it once, twice, 3 times. So 2, 1, 0, and then 1, 2, 3 is 210,000. Is 21,000 the same number as 210,000? No. So they are not equal. Now, if I look over here, I see words. And when I see words, I get nervous because this is math class. So we need to make that into numbers so it's easier to work with. So 6 tens, 6 groups of 10 is another way of saying 60. Okay? Now 2 tens is saying 2 groups of 10, or 20, times 3 tens, which is 3 groups of 10, or 30. We have to figure out if this is true. Well, 20 times 30, I can take a 2 out, and I can take a 10 out. And 30, I can take a 3 out, and I can take a 10 out. 2 times 3, and then 10 times 10. 2 times 3 is 6. 10 times 10 is 100. 60, and 6 times 100 is 600. Are these the same? No, they're not. So we're going to put a slash through that equal sign. Finally, we have here all of this words, and there's 2 sides. So let's cover up this one side and figure out what's going on here first. So I have 86 groups of 1, or just 86. And I have 90 hundreds. So I have 90 groups of hundreds, 90 groups of 100. So another way of saying that is 90 times 100. Okay? You can always just take that thing and multiply it by whatever its label is. So 90 times 100. So let's break this down. I'm going to break 90 up into 9 and 10. So I have 86 times 9 times 10 times 100. Over here on my little scrap paper, I'm going to multiply 86 times 9 and figure out what that is. 6 times 9 is 54. Carry the 5. 8 times 9 is 72. Plus 5 is 77. So I have 774 times 10 times 100 is, I have 1, 2, 3 zeros, so it's 1,000. And if I take 774, put my decimal point at the end, because that's where it goes if we don't have one, and move it once, twice, 3 times, and I fill those in with placeholders. My answer on this side is 774,000. Okay, now I'm going to forget about that side, and I'm only going to look over here. I have 86 ones, so that's the same thing as saying just 86, or I could even say 86 times 1. And then we're multiplying it by 900 tens, so 900 groups of 10, and I can just put my label as a number. We want numbers. We want to forget about these words. Too much words, way too confusing. I'm going to break my 900 into a 9 and a 100, so it's easier to look at. So I have 86 times 1 gives me 86. 86 times 9 times 100 times 10. 86 times 9, we found out over here already, was 774. And then 100 times 10 is 1,000. So I'm going to take 774, put my decimal place there, and because I'm multiplying by 1,000, 1, 2, 3 zeros, I'm going to move my decimal place once, twice, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So my answer over here is 774,000. And is that equal to my number over here, 774,000? It is. So I leave it as equal.